It's a Tuesday afternoon at a busy train station. People rushing to catch their trains, grabbing coffee, scrolling through their phones. Just another ordinary day. Then, the atmosphere shifts. A woman in her late 20s is standing near the ticket machines. A man approaches her, standing too close. His voice gets louder. Comments about her appearance, unwanted questions. That uncomfortable laugh that isn't really a laugh at all. You know that feeling when you sense something's wrong, but you're not quite sure if you should get involved? That's exactly what dozens of people around her are experiencing right now. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't immediately jump in. And that's not because they're bad people. It's human psychology. We look around thinking, surely someone else will handle this. We question ourselves, is this really as serious as I think it is? We worry about making things worse, about confrontation, about becoming a target ourselves. Meanwhile, she's trapped in this moment. Her body language shifts, arms crossed, stepping back, looking for an escape route that doesn't exist because he keeps blocking her path. In this moment, she's not the main character of some empowering social media story. She's isolated, vulnerable, and very much alone in a crowd of strangers. The harasser is counting on that isolation. He's counting on her discomfort, on her politeness, on the silence of everyone watching. But here's where our story takes a turn. A young man in a business suit stops walking. He's about 20 feet away and he's watching. Unlike everyone else who glanced and kept moving, he stays. Then he does something simple but powerful. He walks closer and says, loud enough for others to hear, "Hey, is everything okay here?" Those 6 words change everything. The harasser turns, caught off guard. The woman's eyes meet the young man's, and you can see the relief. She's not alone anymore. But here's what's even more important. Other people start paying attention. A woman with a stroller stops. A teenager takes out his earbuds. An older gentleman sets down his briefcase. It's like watching dominoes fall, except in reverse. Instead of falling, people are standing up. The young man doesn't back down when the harasser gets aggressive. "I think the lady would like some space," he says calmly but firmly. Now a second voice joins in, the woman with the stroller. "She clearly doesn't want to talk to you." The harasser tries to justify himself. "We're just having a conversation." "Mind your business." But the teenager pipes up. "Doesn't look like she's enjoying the conversation." Mate, this is the ripple effect in action. One person's courage becomes permission for others to act. The harasser now faces not one person, but a growing group of witnesses who refuse to pretend they don't see what's happening. His power was built on her isolation and everyone else's silence. Now both are breaking. He's getting louder, more defensive, but you can see him starting to realize this isn't going his way. What happens next is a masterclass in collective action. The older gentleman doesn't say anything aggressive. He simply positions himself between the harasser and the woman, creating physical space. His presence alone, calm, steady, unmovable, sends a clear message. The woman with the stroller asks the victim directly, "Do you want to talk to this person?" When she shakes her head no, the woman turns to the harasser. "She said no. Time to leave." Meanwhile, the teenager has his phone out. Not filming secretly, openly. "Just documenting what's happening here," he announces. Suddenly, the harasser realizes this won't be a moment lost to time. Here's what's brilliant. No one is physically threatening the harasser. No one is shouting. But together, they've created an unmistakable united front that says, "Not here, not today, not to her." The harasser tries one more deflection. "You people are crazy. I didn't do anything wrong." But the young man in the suit responds, "Then you won't mind leaving her alone now." And just like that, the harasser leaves. He mutters under his breath, throws out some final insults to save face, but he's backing away, moving toward the exit, and finally, he's gone. The tension breaks like a wave. You can see shoulders relax, people exhale. The woman who is being harassed looks around at these strangers who became her shield, and her eyes well up. "Thank you," she says, her voice shaking. "Thank you so much." The woman with the stroller asks if she's okay, if she needs anything, water, a place to sit, someone to wait with until her train arrives. The older gentleman quietly tells her, "You didn't deserve that." Not for a second. These aren't dramatic movie moments. These are quiet, genuine expressions of human decency. And somehow they feel even more powerful because of their simplicity. Later, in interviews, the woman shared how that moment changed her. I felt so small, so helpless, she said. But when that first person spoke up and then others joined in, I realized I wasn't powerless. They gave me my voice back. They reminded me I was worthy of respect. She also said something that stuck with me. I thought things like this were just something women had to endure. But seeing strangers refuse to accept that, it changed what I believe is possible. The young man in the suit later posted about the experience. I almost kept walking. I'm not proud of that. But I kept thinking, what if that was my sister? What if that was my mom? I just couldn't look away. The teenager said, I've seen this happen before and done nothing. Not this time. It felt good to finally do something. Even the woman with the stroller reflected, I have a daughter. I kept thinking about the world I want her to grow up in. It starts with moments like these. Here's what's remarkable. This wasn't just about one woman on one day. Every person who witnessed this intervention learned something. They learned that speaking up is possible. That you don't have to be perfect or fearless, you just have to care enough to act. And maybe, just maybe the next time they see something wrong, they'll remember this moment and find their voice a little faster. That's how culture changes, not through grand gestures, but through ordinary people deciding that silence isn't an option anymore. So let's talk about how you can be that person who breaks the silence. Recognizing harassment. It's not always obvious. It includes unwanted comments, following someone, blocking their path, invading personal space, taking photos without consent, or persistent unwanted contact. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. The 5Ds of bystander intervention. These are practical strategies that work. Direct. Speak directly to the harasser. Keep it simple. Leave them alone, or that's not okay. Stay calm but firm. Distract. Interrupt the situation without confronting the harasser. Ask the victim for directions. Pretend you know them. Create a distraction that breaks the moment. Delegate. Get help. Find security, staff, or other bystanders. Sometimes numbers matter. Document. If others are already helping, record the incident, where legal. This creates accountability and evidence if needed. Delay. Check on the victim after the fact. Ask if they're okay, if they need anything, or if they want company. Safety first. Never put yourself in danger. There's no shame in calling for help rather than directly intervening. The goal is to help, not to become another victim. Read the situation. Sometimes a group intervention works best. Sometimes a subtle distraction is smarter than confrontation. Here's what I want you to remember. You don't have to be a hero. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to be someone who refuses to look away. Every single person who intervened in that train station felt nervous. They questioned themselves. But they acted anyway. And because they did, one woman went home feeling protected instead of violated. One harasser learned his behavior has consequences. And dozens of witnesses learned that good people do exist. That's the power you have. That's the difference you can make. So I'm asking you, will you be the bystander who stands up? If this video made you think differently about intervention, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Drop a comment telling me, have you ever witnessed bystander intervention? Or is there a situation you wish you'd handled differently? Remember, a safer world starts with each of us deciding we won't be silent anymore.